Shalom, everybody, and welcome to Grafted into Yahuah. This is Korbin, and welcome back. So right now, I wanted to make this video through Yahusha on do not be surprised that you're going through trials. Do not be surprised that you're experiencing some form of suffering, because that is actually Yahusha's will. Like the book of Job, for instance. Job actually did everything right, and he still was suffering. He still went through a trial. Because, you know how it says in the scripture, be still and know that Yahuah is Elohim, for the battle is his, not ours. Sometimes there's a battle going on spiritually, and you may not have done something wrong. So keep that in mind. We're going to go to 1 Kepha right now, and we're going to read some of the verses that completely explain the whole topic of this video. For instance, we're going to let's go to 1 Kepha, or 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 12, right? And this says, beloved ones, do not be surprised at the fiery trial that is coming upon you to test you. Same with Job. As though some unusual matter has happened or has befallen you. Back in the day, when I didn't understand this verse, I would be so surprised by new type of trials I was going through or new forms of suffering. I was like, why is this happening? This is so bizarre. But it says, Yahusha put in the scripture right here in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12, that it's not a surprise, and do not be surprised. It's not a strange matter. This is all happening on purpose. So it says, but as you share Mashiach's suffering. But as you share Mashiach's sufferings, rejoice. Put it all to joy. That other scripture, brothers, put it all to joy. In order that you might rejoice exultingly at the revelation of his esteem. So we're supposed to share in his suffering. And I'm so grateful, all esteem to Yahusha, Baruch Haba B'Shem Yahuah, because we're actually supposed to, like, the suffering is not uncommon. We're not supposed to be surprised that we're going through a trial. So that's one verse. That's one part of it in the scripture. And then if we go to 1 Kepha chapter 5, verse 8, and we're going to read a few verses on, it says, be sober, watch, because your enemy, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Resist him, firm in the belief, knowing that the same hardships are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. We all get tempted by the enemy. Even Yahusha got tempted in the wilderness. So don't be surprised and say, I won't ever get tempted. Yahusha got tempted. That's not reality. So, and then the next verse, which is verse 10, and the Elohim of all favor, who called you to his everlasting esteem by Mashiach Yahusha, after you have suffered a while. After you have suffered a while. And so sometimes we're supposed to go through some suffering because Yahusha wants us to. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? So don't be surprised by it. After you have suffered a while, himself perfect, Yahusha himself perfect, will establish, strengthen, and settle you. So after you suffered a while, he will strengthen you and establish you and settle you. Like Job. Job was getting attacked because Yahusha allowed the devil to do that. Then after a while, he strengthened him, established him, and settled him, and gave him more than he had before after the whole trial. So don't be surprised. It's a test. You got to follow Yahusha through the test, you know. And I know sometimes it'd be difficult getting attacked by the enemy, but this is a test for us to get closer to Yahusha. There's one more verse I wanted to show. So then this is going to be 1 Kepha chapter 4, verse 19. This says, so then those who suffer according to the desire of Elohim should commit their lives to a trustworthy creator in doing good. So we go through tests. It was Yahusha's desire that Job went through a trial. So do not be surprised. Remember, do all things without murmuring or complaining. And sometimes I mess up with that. I'm not perfect, but it's always important to rebuke that evil ruach and get back on the narrow path, because we're not supposed to be complaining. All this stuff is supposed to happen for those that love Yahuah. That's Romans 8:28. All things happen for good for those that love Yahuah and are called to his purpose. So we got to always put it to joy. as hard as life may be, we gotta put it to joy, because Yahusha loves us, and he said if we follow him to the end, we will be saved. When that new Jerusalem comes down, we will be with him. We'll be in the marriage. We're in the book of life. Make sure that to be in the book of life, get immersed in the name. Get immersed in the name. Keep the 10 commandments. The name is Yahusha, not JC. The name has to be Yahusha, because no one goes to the Father except for him. And he said if he came in his Father's name, you guys don't accept him. But if he comes in another person named JC, now the whole world and all the denominations are accepting that. But his name, he said, I come in my Father's name. The Father's name is Yahuah, Yah, right? What's Yahusha's name? Yahusha, Yah. So they both start with Yah, right? So it can't be JC. There's so many videos. You can check my other videos in this Grafted Into Yahuah channel. There's a lot of videos on that, but all steam to Yahusha. Shalom, and I'll see you guys later.